I'm Mary Elizabeth Davis, and welcome to The Lift. This is the space that's been created where I have the opportunity to lift up the work of the Board of Education here in the Cherokee County School District. Now today, I'm going to talk about three key things that emerged from the regularly scheduled board meeting here in December of 2024. The first is an update on where we are regarding our key priorities and progress made around the key priorities work. The second is how we are holding ourselves accountable to students learning more on our watch than they could anywhere else. And the third is a glimpse into next year, an outlook for our FY26 budget. So let's get started.
Good evening. I now call the December 12th, 2024 meeting of the Cherokee County School Board to order. Welcome, everyone.
Let's start by reviewing the key priorities report. Now, the full report is available for your viewing on our district website, and I would encourage you to take a look at all of the progress that has been made on the work we set out to do. But this report is really grounded in the belief that we need to articulate the work that's ahead of us, go about and do that work, and then report publicly our progress towards really making gains in that body of work. Our key priorities are centered around four key priorities and encapsulate our desire to elevate the excellence together as a school district. Now, some highlights from that report really reflect our heavy body of work to pull all of our investments in our literacy environment together into a K-12 cohesive literacy plan. We are paving the way to launch and reshape our approach to ensuring every student is reading at or above grade level in our district and has the appropriate set of resources at their fingertips in order to have excellent experiences in reading and writing and communicating. Another key priority has been really dedicated to elevating the excellence in our school board's governance approach. The work that they have dedicated to doing to build the tenets of governance is taking shape, and I would encourage you to visit our district website to see this journey play out over time. But it has started with the core beliefs being established by our board members, and they have now coupled those core beliefs with clear goals in English language arts and literacy achievement. Those goals pave the way for a superintendent's evaluation instrument that is now posted to the district website and has now been coupled with the work in policy to establish their governance practices codified in policy BAB, or their governance policy. Now, this body of work is so vital because a high-performing school district starts with a high-performing board of education, and this school board has dedicated the time necessary to do this arduous body of work to really ensure we have stability in the boardroom. Now, that also paves the way for key priority number 3, and I really just want to highlight the effort to better coordinate as an organization the practices and systems and structures that support our school's success. And finally, key priority number 4, this is elevating the excellence in every student's academic responsibility and every school environment. And you already know that we've made great strides on clarity around the appropriate use of cell phones, the appropriate attire for school, and our appropriate timely submission of student work. Go ahead and visit the district website and take a look at that full report. I think you'll find that as a team, as an organization, together, we've taken great strides to building clarity, better coordination, and holding ourselves accountable to kids learning more, growing more, and achieving more on our watch than they could anywhere else. Let's talk about accountability for student learning. In this month's board report, we started with the College and Career Readiness Performance Index results. Now, this is the state of Georgia's accountability system that's applied to all 180 districts across the state. And it's an important examination of how we perform as a district and where it is we can apply some improvement efforts. Now, the CCRPI, which is what it's often referred to as, is heavily based on our students' performance on the Georgia milestones, which they take each spring. So really, a lot of time has elapsed since that spring administration of the Georgia milestones, yet it is a vital moment in time to think about where are we as a district and where does our area of focus need to be in the future. Now, the CCRPI does have 5 components, and let me just illuminate that from the results, we really see a necessity to improve our work in serving our students with disabilities in content area progress. And that's going to be an area of focus for us as we head into the spring and prepare for next year. We want to ensure that all students in the Cherokee County School District have access to learning grade level standards, are achieving on grade level standards, and really show the kinds of gains that we are seeing in neighboring districts and around the state. Now, our accountability discussion also talked about some other metrics that are unrelated to our state CCRPI accountability system. And those metrics included the SAT, the ACT, and our students' performance on advanced placement exams. A look at SAT outcomes over time is something we should all be so proud of. Our students continue to grow in their achievement as demonstrated by the SAT, which is really a testament to an excellent education across all levels, and really our students, their dedication to academic excellence. In our advanced placement performance, we saw an incredible growth. 1,500 more students over the past 2 years have proceeded to take an advanced placement exam. And on top of that, we have seen an 8% growth during that same period of time in the number of students who are scoring a 3 or higher. Now, doing so can actually result in college credit being awarded as a student enrolls in a post-secondary institution. In total, this actually equates to $6.1 million of college expenses being saved by our students because they are taking this rigorous college course while in high school. And let's talk about our fiscal year 25-26 outlook. Now, we've already gone into this particular development of a budget at a sort of an adjusted timetable that we've laid out with the objective of adopting our final budget in the April 2025 board meeting. Now, in order to do that, our work in December is really about an outlook of our revenue and our expenditures and sort of our preparation to move into a new school year, maintaining our current scope of services and the way we do business as an organization. Now, obviously, as a school district, students are at the center of this, and we want to keep our kids first. But we also needed to be prepared to mitigate a $14 million revenue shortfall that was resulted from the highly anticipated expansion of the senior tax exemption. Now, we've been working toward closing that gap in revenue over the past couple of months, and we've already committed to decreasing our operational budgets by 3%. Now, making up that shortfall has really positioned us to have a balanced budget as we prepare for making a recommendation to the Board of Education. But there's new complexities that have emerged, and this is going to be really important for us to figure out. Now, the constitutional amendment that was authorized on the November ballot, well, it changes the approach that local boards of education, municipalities, and counties across this entire state will be able to take as they anticipate the local revenue that is a part of building a balanced budget. Now, here for the Cherokee County School District, the approval of that constitutional amendment actually results in the district applying a floating homestead exemption. And that floating homestead exemption would actually result in a $50 million revenue decrease for the Cherokee County School District's operations over the next 3 years. And that's what makes this a really complex topic, because the board is now positioned to take a couple of options to move forward. And one of those options is to opt out of applying the floating homestead exemption. And so here's how that's affecting us. Our local property taxes that are collected and utilized for the operations of the school district are what we rely on in order to provide our schools with a school police officer and actually have an entire school police department that serves the Cherokee County schools. Those local tax dollars are what are used in order for us to fund school nurses and a school nurse at each of our schools. Local tax dollars pay for the custodians at our schools. It pays for 92% of our transportation, and it provides for nearly 100% of the technology in the organization. So there's significant implications in the absence of that $50 million. So the provision in the law is that the Board of Education can actually consider opting out of applying this floating homestead exemption. Now, they only have one opportunity to do that, and that one opportunity happens to be this coming February, where they can host 3 hearings and adopt a resolution that will opt the Cherokee County School District out of this particular provision. I'd encourage you to stay informed of this really important and complex topic, and I'd actually invite you to view the full report that was provided to the board. and view the board's discussion around what you can see is shaping up to be a pretty important topic of discussion. You know, here in Cherokee County, we have had exceptional schools. Our families are depending on those schools staying exceptional. Our students are depending on having the best opportunity for the best education right here in our home community. And we happen to have the most talented collection of professionals that are in public education today. And I know our employees are counting on us to just continue to elevate together. Now, before I go, I've got to take a moment and pay special tribute to the chair of this Board of Education, Kyla Cromer, who this month has chaired her final meeting after more than a decade of public service to the organization. I know you'll want to join me in thanking her for her service, as well as wishing her the best in her new chapter of retirement. Well, that really brings us to the end of this brief synopsis, and I want to thank you for joining me here for The Lift, where it's my goal to lift up the work of the Board of Education here in the Cherokee County School District. We talked today about the key priorities and our progress on what has been laid out for our work. We talked about accountability for student learning, and we also talked about our FY26 outlook. I am so excited as we wrap up this first semester, where we have truly come together as a team with clarity on how we get better so that our kids can count on us, our families can continue to trust us, and our community can be proud. I thank you so much for joining me today as we elevate the excellence together here in Cherokee County Schools.